All right, chat. As many of you have probably seen, Alejandro Sendejas is in the news. And it's not because he's absolutely on fire in fuego, which he is. There's 6 goals or assist production in the last 5 games. Actually, I made it sound bad. It's 5 goals, 1 assist in the last 5 games for both club and country. Starting off with Japan, a golazo against Japan. Beautiful left footed volley that he finishes off a good Max Arvston cross that puts him in a good moment that he keeps capping off with even better moments. Most recently, we saw in one of the clásicos Americas has against Pumas, a stunner, a worldly, one of the most ridiculous chips you will see anywhere. Barely inside the 18-yard box, picks up his head, lifts it up with that beautiful left foot, and chips Keylor Navas, one of the best goalkeepers of his generation. Keylor Navas, the best ever CONCACAF goalkeeper. It was a golazo, type of goal that if Messi does it, you say, this is why he's the best ever. That type of goal. It really was. If you've not seen it, please go check it out. It was a worldly. That's not the news I want to talk to you about. It's not his recent interviews that he's done in English and Spanish expressing his desire to play in a World Cup, to represent his country. It's not the recent interviews where he speaks about his friendship, longtime friendship with Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, and those players. As many of you know, Alejandro Zendejas was born in Mexico, but moved to the United States at a very, very early age. Fully fluent in English, fully fluent in Spanish. He lived that dual culture life. He actually played U17s, U15s with a lot of these American players. He's been playing with them for years. Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Luca De La Torre, Tyler Adams. I'm sure there's a few I'm missing. I think Brandon Vasquez was part of that group. There may be one or two more players that I'm missing out of there. He was one of those players. He grew up with these players. He's seen these players since he was a kid. So he feels very much at home in the U.S. men's national team setup. Here's the news. If you don't know Alejandro Sendejas' story and the drama surrounding picking the U.S. or picking Mexico in the sporting world, because you can have love for both, and I'm going to testament to that. Many of you watching this are a testament to it also. You can love two different countries. You can feel deeply rooted in two different cultures. That's not the issue here, and nor will it ever be. To each his own. Many of you won't ever know what it's like to have two different sides of you being pulled. And also while you're being pulled, being told you don't represent either side. It's a crazy and fucked up situation many Chicanos feel, or many dual nationals, not just Chicanos. But if you're listening, watching this channel, chances are you probably have felt that at some point in your life. Now imagine it over a game. Here's what I want to get into. His story. He had a back and forth with US and with Mexico. Mexico actually had to forfeit points in the FIFA rankings because of games that Alejandro Sendejas played with the Mexican national team at the full level and at the U23 level because he never filed a one-time switch, and Mexico and Los Federativos, the federation officials at the time, were too incompetent to know that or to figure that out. So they lost points on the table. Doesn't really mean much at the U23 level or at the full national team level. But they lost those points, those FIFA rankings points, because they didn't pay attention to the Sendejas situation. So Alejandro Sendejas was in this I don't know where to go situation. Almost felt forgotten by the U.S. because these players, the Pulisics, the McKennies, and all these other players had kind of flourished and gone to Europe, and he kind of stood by the wayside. He was told by Chivas, you can't play with the U.S. men's national team. You have to give that up. And he left Chivas and went to Necaxa, where he flourished as a defensive midfielder, a double pivot, becoming the highest goal-scoring Mexican in the league in a calendar year. Goes to America to play in a new position, out on the right, cutting on his left, when many said he was the third, fourth, fifth option. And he becomes a legendary player. Yes, legendary player. America is by far the winningest team in CONCACAF's history, the most illustrious team, the biggest team. They are the Yankees. They are Real Madrid, Barcelona, whatever you want to say, in the Dodgers, in their pond. In CONCACAF, that's who they are. In Mexico, ridiculous players. He's already well on his way to being a historic, if not already a historic player. He was a pivotal player in 4 finals, making it to 4 finals and winning 3 of them. He's one of 5 historic players that America already has in this run that they've had. He's a big player, and he's probably America's best player at the moment. He's very beloved. They really respect and admire Alejandro Sendejas, and many players, or excuse me, many pundits, many fans still place blame on Tata Martino for letting Alejandro Sendejas go. And this is where I am taking you. TUDN, most recently, Gibran Araige, who is the reporter for the Mexican national team, came out on his YouTube page. I encourage you to go watch it. And he gave all the versions that he knows of. Tata Martino's version, his version, Gibran's version, the Federation's version of what went wrong with Alejandro Sendejas. And he said Alejandro Sendejas' version, but nowhere in there was it Sendejas' version, just people in or around with knowledge of Sendejas. I'll let you decipher what you want out of that. And he didn't really blame Tata Martino. He made it seem like it was just a case of Alejandro Sendejas chose this. I can't make this up. You can't write it. Later on, Andres Vaca, who's one of the lead broadcasters on TUDN, Gibran Araije's colleague, goes on a podcast and he speaks of first-hand experience being at a meal with other TUDN Televisa colleagues and asking specifically about Alejandro Sendejas. And this were Tata Martino's words, and he also admitted a bit already fed up with the situation. Sendejas es malísimo. Sendejas is horrible. Wait a few more weeks till Brian Rodriguez gets his feet going. He's going to bench Sendejas. That's what he says. And he'll never play again in Club América. El tiempo me va a dar la razón. Time will tell, and when it does, you will see that I was right. He's going to be a bench player to Brian Rodriguez, and nobody in Club América will ever remember Sendejas. Now, very different from what Gibran Araige said to us. Let me tell you something about Alejandro Sendejas and this Mexican national team. Alejandro Sendejas right now isn't a guaranteed starter with the U.S. men's national team. He's probably a bubble player to both Greg Berhalter and Mauricio Pochettino. He was a bubble player, maybe a guy that could be on the roster, could not be on the roster. That's a reality. Very difficult to sit Timothy Weah down. Timothy Weah offers something that nobody in the U.S. men's national team pool can offer. Just that pace, how vertical he is. Just the nose for goal. Like he's a different player, different profile. So it's unfair to lump him in there, but that's where he's lumped in. And he wasn't an important player for Greg, and he's probably not right now an important player for Mauricio Pochettino. Doesn't mean he can't make the team, but it's not a guarantee. It's not. I can 100% tell you it would be a guarantee if he was on the Mexican national team. I applaud Alejandro Sendejas with going with his gut, going with his heart on where he wants to represent, not because he's playing with the U.S. men's national team, because I think it's a personal choice. If I were him, I would have chosen Mexico. He would right now be a starter for the Mexican national team. He would be a bona fide star for the Mexican national team. He's a star in Liga MX. He's a star for the biggest club in Liga MX, which is Club América. He would be a star for the Mexican national team. There was a story, a report of the Mexican Federation taking a contract, the one-time switch, to Alejandro Sendejas right before he got on the bus to go to the hotel or a game. I forget what the situation is. And they were trying to force him to sign it. He said, hey, I just can't go signing things without my agent. I need to understand what's going on. Give it to me. I give it to my agent. Due process. And it fell apart. The way they went about it was incorrect. The way they've gone about it from the beginning, allowing him to play with Mexico when he wasn't even allowed to, and then having those points for FIFA rankings deduced, I should say, and then them feeling spurned when he makes a decision, that's not on Sendejas. That's your incompetence. Sendejas right now is probably taking the more difficult route of the two. But he's going with his gut. He's going with his feeling. And right now, even though he's not a guaranteed player on the national team, at the rate he's going to be there. Not too many players have earned the trust with good play from Mauricio Pochettino. And if we're going off of that, he's got a leg up on more than a few players. It's a player that I think can play in Europe. He's 27 years of age. I know it's a little late, but there are all types of levels in Europe. And this guy, you've seen him play, left-footed, just tight ball control, thinks like a 10, can finish like a 9, can play make like no other from the wing or inside, multiple positions. It's a player worth taking to a World Cup with reduced capacity, players that need to play or understand multiple roles. Anyways, this video was about the fumble of the Mexican Federation, not the decision of Alejandro Sendejas. That's respectable.